this morning on Tea or Coffee, we are talking about self-esteem in teenagers and young adults. And then we have someone joining us on the show this morning to discuss and talk about this. I have with me in the studio Victoria Olatunji. She's a mentor, author, and an entrepreneur. Good morning, and it's good to have you on the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. So
okay, so let us start. What exactly is self-esteem?
Okay. Basically, self-esteem is your personal sense of self-worth, your personal value. It's how you feel about yourself. It's how positive you feel about what you can do. Yes, basically that's what self-esteem is.
All right.
Okay,
yes.
So one thing I would like to know is that most times we know that social media has its advantage and disadvantages. You see young people going on social media making celebrities and making people they see or what they see on social media as the standard of living. And that way it could actually affect their self-esteem. So at what point or at what age should you as a guardian, as a parent, start that conversation of self-esteem to your child?
From the age that they can see you, from the age that they can hear you, from the age that they can understand what you're trying to pass across to them. Because most of the times, like you said, social media plays a very vital role on us. You see someone who is fair in complexion, everything flawless, and you just want to be flawless, forgetting that we are all different and we have different genetic coding. So for you to compare yourself to this person, I want to be light in complexion, I want to be fair, I want to be able to speak like the whitish and all of that. It doesn't work like that most of the times. And this got a lot of youth, young adults into depression. You know, you see someone complaining, I just want to be slim, I just want to be fat. We're not being contented about who we are, which is not supposed to be. So when you know that you have a child with you, your main purpose, your main aim, your goal as a parent is to make sure that the moment that they can see and understand you, you start talking to them. Tell them you are enough. Tell them you are good. Tell them God has created you as beautiful as you are and you can do all things. Tell them someone is out there who admire and wants to be like you. So that is it. That is the role of a parent. The moment they can see and understand you, start saying all these positive things to them. And this will help them be able to make decisions when they go out there.
All right. So from what you just said, I want to guess that we have two major or two basic types of self-esteem. That's the positive and the negative self-esteem. So what are the factors that contribute to self-esteem, that contribute to the building of either the positive or the negative self-esteem?
Okay, the negative self-esteem is being caused most of the times by loneliness. When you see someone who is lonely, you have nobody to talk to, you have no one to share your burden with. You see, you develop low self-esteem through that. And also, another thing that can cause low self-esteem is failure. When you fail in a particular thing and you just feel that that is the end of life for you. You just feel that there's nothing else beautiful in your life. You just feel that that is the end of who you are. Not realizing that you can be better than that. Not realizing that when you keep your head up, which I self-esteem, the positive part of it is going to help you do. When you realize that the positive self-esteem is necessary, it's to be able to push you, it's to be able to help you to be able to fight the low self-esteem. Because at one stage of our life, every individual, you know, we might have had the experience of this low self-esteem. Because personally, growing up, I faced it. Yes, I faced it. So, as a matter of fact, we should be able to define what low self-esteem is, and we should be able to understand it when we're trying to grow into it. When you discover that this thing is coming to my life, you block it off. I don't want negativity, because low self-esteem is the negative part of positive self-esteem, is the negative side of it. So I don't want negative life in my life, and so I want to be more. And so I want to live my life in a positive way. So we should try as much as possible to always avoid this low self-esteem and embrace the positive by using affirmation words, by saying I am good, by saying to yourself, looking at yourself through the mirror, that I am very, very good. You know, this low self-esteem is something that is very important and also mysterious, because most of the times you can't see it, but it's always there when you look at yourself through the mirror. You can't hear it, but it's there when you talk about yourself. You seem not to see it anywhere, but it shows in the way you feel about yourself. It's very important but mysterious. We all can't see it, but we can feel it. It's always there. Self-esteem is always there. Wherever you find yourself, you're looking at yourself through the mirror, and you say to yourself, why am I even as fat as this? See, that is low self-esteem coming into you. And what do? Immediately you block it off. When you hear negative or bad comments of who you are on your head, what do? You change it immediately. I am not going to embrace this low self-esteem or negative part of me, because I have some other things that are beautiful about my life. So I don't see the negative part. I am seeing the positive part of it. At every point of our life, we should try as much as possible to avoid the negative one and to embrace the positive part of our life, because that is what will help you to break through in a crowded world.
Okay, yes. All right. So I think parents and guardians should actually get in here now.
Yes.
Because a lot of times you realize that self-esteem doesn't just show up in your face as an adult.
No.
It started from a particular word or a particular reaction of someone towards you while you were young, and then you had to grow up with that mentality.
Yes.
So I want to know, what are those things that parents, guardians, even the society, what are those things that we do wrong that could contribute to low self-esteem of a child, or as to a teenager or a young adult?
Okay, when I was very young, I used to be the first in my class, like first position, and the list was third. So there was a time I came sixth in my class. And then I was, being a small little girl, I was crying, when I was going home, I changed it was seventh. Okay. So I changed the seventh to second. Seven now, you can change it to 2. So I just put I just changed it to 2 immediately. But on getting home, I gave the report card to my dad, and he looked at me and said, Victoria, you didn't come second. This is seventh, I can see. I said, but daddy, it's seventh. He saw the fear in me. And then he said to me, Victoria, you came seventh in your class, but that doesn't mean that I will forsake you. That doesn't mean that you are no longer my daughter. You are still my daughter. He looked at me face to face and said, Victoria, you can be better. You've always came first, second, third. But this time around, I don't want seventh position for you. He said, you can perform more better. You can perform more brilliantly next time. So you sit up and believe that you can take back your first position. So parents contribute so much to the role of our self-esteem when we're growing up. A child that is growing up with you, you should be able to see the child, see the wrong side of the child. Talk positive when you see that the thing is wrong. Talk positive to them. Don't say because they are doing something wrong, then you have to give them wrong back. No, they are already battling with something. So what you do is to encourage them. What you do is to embrace them. Not that your child will probably fail in class and you start shouting, I'm not even sure that I'm your father. I'm not even sure that your mom gave birth to you. I'm not sure I'm your parents. You understand? Something like that. We pick it right from young age. We began to pick it. This thing, my parents said this to me when I was age 5, and still I have it in my head. When he said, I can be more, at the age of, I think that was 10 years old, he told me that seventh position can go back automatically to first position. I can still remember today. Why? Because then I was a child and I was able to pick the positive thing that he said to me. The same thing with every one of us. We can always pick the negative part of us that people say to us. But the most important, how we can help a child grow, how we can help everyone to be free from low self-esteem, is to always see the wrong in them, but don't use the wrong to them back. Just give them the good part of it. They are already passing through stuff. Just encourage them, embrace them, tell them they can be better. They need love, not loneliness. They need love, not to be isolated from their mates. The background then, I didn't allow that to affect me. Growing up in the village, I always see people, I have a role model, which is my dad. That man, the fact that he's a farmer doesn't mean that he didn't develop low self-esteem. When he's with people who are learned, he's so outspoken. Wow. Yes, he doesn't feel inferior or feel bad of who he is. He's able to express his feelings. And the major thing about self-esteem is also for you to be able to express how you feel. For you to be able to share your feelings with people. that is what also makes us to know that we have a positive and a good self-esteem. When you're able to stand up for who you are, when you're able to make decisions, and you're able to tell people that this thing is no. Not to be bragging about it. It's just for you to know that this is who I am. This is what should be done. Sure. Not to be bragging about it, because some people mix self-esteem with pride, which is not supposed to be. They feel she has pride. She feels she knows it all. And another thing that should help us is when you have gotten your self-esteem, you should be able to share your knowledge. Because when you don't do that, when you begin to class yourself that I know it all now, people will feel she has pride. People will feel she's arrogant. So you should volunteer. Yes, I think this also helped me. Because there was a time someone was telling me that, Victoria, I never knew you were this good, kind-hearted person. I thought you had pride, just like people used to say. But I said, no. I said, no, I am a very free person. If you come close to me, you will see who I am. But the fact that I've already discovered who I am, I don't take anything less than that from anybody. You don't bring me down. You don't allow what you're saying to bring me into getting to my room and start crying. You can't allow me shed tears. No, because I know who I am. So the moment that you realize that you've already discovered your self-esteem, try and secure it. Try and share your knowledge with people. Be more approachable. Let people come around you and feel free with you. It also helps. Yes.
Okay, before we had the caller on board, I was going to talk about, I wanted you to shed more light on making sure parents avoid comparison. Yes. Now, amongst the children that you have, you still tend to have a favorite and making every other child or making the other party feel, okay, this is my favorite. That way they grow up with the mentality of no one loves me, no one likes me. So how can parents balance it, making sure that you don't have a favorite? It could be hard, but how can you balance it that you don't have a favorite and this child, you are able to, give this child a healthy self-esteem growing up?
Okay, growing up, I think I've been mentioning my dad. So I think I have a close relationship with him. That my other sister, one day she just said, Daddy, why is it that you like Auntie Victoria? She said, because I love the kind of life she lives. She doesn't come home late at night, so you have to emulate that. It also comes back to all the children in the family as well. Okay. When you see that this child, my dad loves her or my dad loves him, try and watch the life of that person. What is it that made your parents feel attracted to that person? Learn from the person. My sister came to me and said, Auntie, I want my dad. I don't want him to always scold me all the time. What can I do? She was humble enough to ask me. And I told her, my dad really loves you. If he doesn't love you, he won't be telling you that you have to stop this and stop that. Look at me. Whenever I'm with him, I don't even look at him directly in the eye because I respect him for who he is. So as for parents, they must always understand that you are the one that gave birth to this child. You give birth to this child. So is your child, either he's doing well or not. Try and embrace this child. Bring him or her closer to you. Tell her this is life. Tell the child that you've been there. You've once been a youth. So I want a best life for you. I want a better life for you. And I want you to live it. So please and please, children as well contribute to why parents feels they love one child than the other. Just like I said earlier. So the parents just have to use their knowledge to balance it. Tell them, you don't have to compare. No, Victoria is doing well. No, they don't have to compare all the time. Because it got to a time that I told my dad that, Daddy, I don't want you comparing me with my sister. She has a life to live. Let her live her life. She's now an adult. By the grace of God, she's married now and she's doing fine. Why? Because I made her understand that this is your life and you only live once. So if you really want to live, you live a positive life. If you really want to live fulfilled, you live a life that is worthy of emulation. Discover yourself. People will come around you. And parents have to always help their children in growing up to balance that so that they won't feel isolated and feel they don't want to be a part of the family.
Many thanks for watching our video. I do hope you liked it. Join our YouTube family by clicking on the subscribe button. And of course, do not forget the notification bell so you get a notification every single time we post a new video. Like, share, subscribe. Adios.
A child that is growing up with you, you should be able to see the child, see the wrong side of the child. Talk positive when you see that the thing is wrong. Talk positive to them.